What's up, guys? Welcome to the Limo show. I have Yannick Poulain with me. He's famous French businessman. He's a spiritual teacher. He's been in the dating community for a while. I'm super pumped to have him on the show. So welcome, Yannick. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much for welcoming me to your show, Limo.
Welcome. Have you ever done a podcast before, or is it your first time, by the way? I didn't ask you that.
It's my first time. I've never done it.
Great. I'm glad I'm the first. That's great. So you're in Monaco right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, awesome. And so you travel a lot around France and stuff like that. Like, do you travel also outside of France, or you stay in France most of the time?
I'm always moving. Like my friend tries to catch me up and to see me wherever I am, but I'm just like, once I'm done with what I've been learning from somewhere, I'm just moving. So I've been moving all around Europe, and I just like to go from events to convention to events to meeting other people and inspiration and everything.
No, that's amazing. I mean, you're always what I feel about you is you're always learning. You're always in that student mindset. Even if you've attained like a certain level in your business or in your career, you're always a student, always learning. And that's wise teachers are. They're like permanent students, you know. So I like your mindset about that.
Yeah, I feel blessed that I have encountered wise enough masters at the beginning of my journey 10 years ago, who taught me the teachability index. And it's basically like, know that you don't know, you know, and stay teachable and stay open and stay in this eagerness and this desire to learn something. And at the same time, like, be happy where you're at. So
it's a balance.
Trying to master it and mastering it through the years. It's been a very, very long journey to just feel good right now. So good that I just love this moment with you. And at the same time, I want more, you know, I have all these dreams and goals and desires.
Of course. Yeah. And so can you talk, because a lot of people don't know about you, maybe some listeners have never heard of you. So could you like quickly just describe your company, what you do, your business, what you help people with?
So what I've been helping people over the years, it's about like expressing themselves in a better way, as they truly are, in some sense. I mean it on the spiritual level with the energy and qigong and respiration, like breathing techniques and energy flow techniques. So it frees the emotions of people, and they are less they are less their pains, and they are more themselves, you know, their core selves. So that's the effect that it has on people. And on the other side, it's like coaching guys on having more self awareness and more social awareness about relationships, girls, themselves, and the way they behave through the world, and how to get their goals and dreams in a sense.
Okay. So there's an inner part which is more spiritual and really like going inward. Like it seems like a more of an inside out approach, right? You start with the inside, you start with going inner, and then, you know, and then from there you teach them external stuff like social awareness, social skills, and all of that, right?
Yeah. My friends knows me about the inner game. Like, I'm so big time on inner game, because once it's mastered, the outer games unfold, you know. So everything goes in the right sense, in the right pace, because you're not stressed out about any action that you have got to do.
Now the bigger the inner work, the bigger the external results are going to be, you know, because if you only rely on external stuff, you're always going to have those those, I mean, you're always gonna have, you know, those limiting beliefs or stuff like that that are gonna keep you in this glass ceiling of success. And if you want to attain the new level in your game, in your business, in anything, it's always gonna take a new level of yourself. You know, like anytime you want to reach a certain next level in your life, you're gonna have to up level yourself as well, mentally as well. That's what I found for anything, for business, fitness. It's all related to the mind, you know. So
Yeah, and that's what people are the most afraid to
yeah.
work on. And
Mm,
actually, what it does is it changes your self-image.
yeah.
And so when you have a new jacket, when you have a new suit, when you have good abs and everything, it also changes your own self-image. So it's very good
Yeah.
to have that and to build that and to develop that. But it's it's really the inner the way you view yourself from the
Hmm.
inside that is
Yeah.
going to completely change everything that is on the outside. And even if you don't have all these abs and all these beautiful suits and everything,
Yeah.
and still be very just like confident and present and very charismatic.
Hmm. No, absolutely. And do you also, like, besides breathing and qigong and all of that, I guess, do you also do some visualization with your clients and all of that to kind of rewire their self-image, or is it mainly breathing?
Even if I am an inner game guy, I'm very much into action, you know.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's like it's the dichotomy. Yes, I can make them visualize. Yes, I can make them do all of that stuff, but it only anchors into the physiology, and they can only integrate it and make it real if there is a
Hmm.
real action afterwards.
Correct.
So I do make them like approach. I do make them do the things that they are most afraid of, and
Mm.
they use my presence, my mind, my my help to
Yeah.
plow through that at the beginning. And then once they get used to the activity and used to plowing through difficulties and obstacles, they just can handle themselves and just grow on their own. The goal
Hmm.
is to make them autonomous.
Yeah. No, absolutely. What I found is you need new experiences in the real world to overwrite the old experience, the old experiences. You know, you always need new experiences to kind of overlap the old ones so you can change. It's never going to be
But
only inner game. It's always going to be with paired with action, you know.
but at the reverse, to answer your question, it's if we are only teaching actions to people and say do this, do that, do this, do that, then they are just doing a lot of activity
Yeah.
and they don't know why they do it. They are still as afraid as they were before, and they believe it was because someone else was helping them that they got the results and not
Mm.
themselves.
Yeah.
So as soon as possible, I try to just like not being pushing them, but just letting them go, and letting them
Hmm.
free. And so there is both parts. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's like very pushing, and sometimes I'm just like looking at them and just like letting them do whatever they want to do, and just like doing my life. And so approaching and getting phone numbers, getting like girls around and
Hmm.
everything. And I don't ask anything of them, and they just
Hmm.
see what I do. And with this, like they imitate what the patterns are subconsciously, at least.
Hmm. Yeah. Awesome. And so why did you start your company in the first place? Why did you start this niche? What pulled you to start this type of business? Because it's pretty rare, you know, for most people.
Um, it's it's very interesting because it's like for me it's something that I'm very very passionate about, like so passionate about that I've taught for free during 3 years of coaching guys.
Hmm.
I created like a community in my hometown in the north of France, around 50 people, and I was just teaching because I wanted to master the art, and then created more of a community with very good, talented guys, like 12 of us, something like that. So I've always done it for free, and maybe I was just like willing to give the best service I could to people. And so I didn't want to start the company too soon when I didn't master the skill, you know. And then now that I feel I'm pretty confident with the skill that I have, with all the results that I have, with all the results that the guys that I taught have, to launch this company and to just go for it. It's an exciting journey to dive deeper into the true awareness. Like, it's awareness at the end. It's just like, yes, there is skills, yes, there is experiences, yes, there is knowledge that you have to get when you're on the field. But at the end, this knowledge, what it does, it raises your awareness of things and the way people interact and the way you can interact too. And because you've practiced it a lot, and people practice it a lot, I taught, then they are just like very like James Bond style, you know, like very precise, very neat, and having the right answers at the right time.
Yeah, I like what you said about, you know, awareness and consciousness. I really like that because I've noticed it. I mean, people who aren't used to practicing this and actually learning about the craft, about, you know, dating, seduction, psychology, all of that, they have a certain level of awareness, like a certain paradigm that, you know, from their paradigm, they're not aware of certain nuances. Like when you're at a certain paradigm, sometimes you don't pick up on things, you know, you don't see things the way we do. But then once you're at a certain level, as you are, and as I am to some extent also, you start seeing things that people don't see. You start, you know, knowing. I mean, you have another perception. You see the same thing, but, you know, you could see a totally different thing than the other person who has a different paradigm. See what I mean?
Yes.
So it's
we all have different filters on reality, and the perspective that we have is our truth, you know. But it's not the perspective that the other person has, and not all of the other person around, and not the same perspective as your mother or your father.
Correct.
And your brothers and sisters and everything. So there is a whole display of different perspectives and different people looking at situations. And when we see that there is a lot of people that say, wow, that's amazing. Like he has approached a girl, you know, that's great. And there is a great vibe and everything. And there are other people like, wow, he's approached the girl, like he's harassing her, and she should feel bad because he's approaching, even if it's not what's happening inside, you know, the relationship and everything. And when we realize that, we raise above that. So not being like, okay, it's just amazing, or oh, it's very bad, but we are just above the crowd and above everything and everybody. We have the choice to see the way we want to see. And by the way we see things, then things unfold as we see them be. They take life from that perspective. And so I just like live a blessed life. I never get rejected because I never see it as a rejection, you know. I just see it as an information, a feedback that she sends me about her situation, the way that she feels inside, the way that the approach was, the way that the behavior that I had was. But it's not me. She's never rejected me. She's just rejecting a certain behavior pattern that she's observing from her perspective of reality, which can be very like shitty because she broke with her boyfriend 5 days ago, because she's late for work, because I don't know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, you can't control the outcome of an approach anyway. Maybe, as you said, she has a boyfriend, she's on her period, she has something. The only thing you can control is the action. And as you said, a rejection is nothing more than, you know, it should mean nothing more than redirection. Like when you're rejected, you're just redirected to another path, and that's it. You just look at other people. You just meet other
Rejection,
girls, and that's it.
rejection doesn't exist.
Yeah, it
Just like get
doesn't.
it out of your mind, get it out of your like words, you know, guys.
Mhm.
Just like rejection, no. The only rejection that really exists, it's you not standing up on the earth and not acting when you want to act, and not
Correct.
approaching when you want to approach. So the
Yeah.
only game and the only kind of battle, if there is one, it's within, it's you with yourself. Are you going to do what you want to do? And even if like I used, for example, at the beginning, I used to make me feel pain when I didn't approach, because then I realized that, okay, that's the only rejection that I have. It's me not going and not saying hi. And when I say
Yeah.
hi, anything that happens from that point, it's okay. You know, I did
Exactly.
my job.
Yeah, the moment you say hi, you already won. The moment you said hi, you already won all the time because you went for it. Because you can control the outcome of an approach.
And you
Um,
have the success that is based on you doing what you want to do,
mhm,
not the other person responding the way you want her to respond, because that
mhm.
you cannot control.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, and you have to fuck your feelings because your feelings are going to get in the way. You're going to have those thoughts like, oh, maybe she has a boyfriend. Oh, maybe I should do it later. Oh, I'm not feeling good right now. I shouldn't do it. Oh, maybe tomorrow. And sometimes you just got to fuck your feelings and do it anyway because your feelings are always going to get in the way. So I always tell my clients, like, fuck your feelings, do it anyway, and you'll see, you know. And ironically, like once you go for it, your feelings start to let go because you detach yourself from those inferior feelings basically. And so once you tap into action, those inferior thoughts just dissipate, you know.
It's an interesting way of helping guys to go and act. That's not the way I use personally. I never
Mm.
say anyone to fuck their feelings. For
Okay.
me, it's very important. If you feel something, you
Mm-hmm.
can just like stop, be with yourself, and let the feeling expand. So if you feel, for example, you see a girl, you want to approach, and
Mm-hmm.
then you feel stressed inside, and then you feel anger at yourself because you're not going. Let the anger grow and grow and grow, you know? And when you do that, like you've become very angry, but just with yourself, you know, just like
Mm-hmm.
aside, you didn't
Yeah.
approach yet. And then you process the emotion, and then you you breathe out and you let go of the emotion, and then you put a smile on your face. If you feel this anger that is now gone, you just
Mm-hmm.
feel relief. And from that point, you decide, because you now have a clear mind, and beforehand it was just troubled because an emotion was triggered and it was uncontrollable for you, and you didn't know what to do. And by this process of just like letting it grow and grow and grow, then breathing, then smiling, you release it, and then you
Mm-hmm.
have a clear mind, and then you decide, okay, did I want to go to open her, yes or no? If it's no, it's okay. If it's yes, it's okay. But if it's yes, just go, you know,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and be honest with yourself
Mm-hmm.
all the
Yeah, I mean
time.
that. No, I get it. I mean that's another approach you could take is like really assessing your feelings. How do I feel right now? Do I feel angry? Why? And what could I do the next time, etc. To kind of. I mean, I understand your approach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But honestly,
But
what worked for me personally is like sometimes just telling myself like, fuck my feelings. You know, these are just thoughts. I'm not gonna listen to my thoughts. I'm stronger than that, and I just go and bam. And many times I've done that, and even for my clients, I mean, it's a great mindset to have, because as a man, your feelings are never gonna. Sometimes your feelings are just gonna get in the way, and you have to sometimes just do it anyway, even if you're scared, even if you're anxious. Damn, you just do it. You know.
I don't like when I think you say just fuck the feeling, it's actually the thought patterns. So there is two different things. There is the gut feeling inside, and then there is the thought pattern and the monkey voice inside our heads. So that is just like noise, you know. So that you can say just fuck off the noise, you know, because it's not you, but the feeling it's you, you know.
But even the feeling of anxiety, let's say, sometimes I just say, you know, fuck your feelings. You know, it's normal to feel anxiety. It's okay to feel anxiety, but
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
do it anyway. You know.
Okay. It's okay. Like accept that you are a human being and
Yeah.
accept to like I accept to see myself as a human being. So I have defaults and I have like things that I am not good at and things that I'm better at. And I know the girl in front of me has the same. Like she's just as human as I am.
Yeah.
So she needs to eat, she needs to have a family, she needs to you know, like dress up and everything. She has the same patterns and activity because she's a human being. So
Yeah.
she's also on my level because she's a human being and I'm not any better than anybody else on the earth, nor am I any worse than anybody else on the earth. I'm just at a different point in my life, you know, and that's it.
Yeah. So accepting yourself and accepting the fact that, yeah, I mean, it's just a human in front of you, you know, and fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not this woman that you have to pedestalize or think that she's better than you or whatever. So yeah. One thing, man, I'm curious. So basically, from what you said, you started doing it for free for 3 years, which is crazy. Which really demonstrates your passion for the subject, because you were doing it for free. And I guess, I mean, me too. I've started doing. I guess we had a similar path in that sense, where we used to create meetings in our cities, like for free,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
with 10, 15 people, and we used to have that. So I had that in Montreal too. I had that
Oh, great.
that same I had that
Awesome.
same experience. How did you first recruit the first people that saw you, basically in groups, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, or how?
um, I found them. I went into different forums. I went into different YouTube channel from guys, and then Facebook groups.
Okay.
And because the guy were based in mostly in Paris, for example, but there was a small fraction of people that came from Lille, you know, and I've got to find them. So I search for people by any means that I could to just find someone, because at the beginning I was too afraid to approach alone, you know, and so I used the friendship and the relationship that I could build to just like, okay, go with someone that I don't know, and then when he doesn't know, I'm teaching him what I'm doing, you know.
Okay.
And then the more it grew, the more I grew, the more I could go by myself, you know, because at the beginning I was very dependent on somebody else.
Yeah.
And by just like doing it again and again and again, then I began to go alone outside, you know, outside alone, and then grow myself. And it was so hard. Like the first night I had outside, it was 4 hours of me just like trying to approach someone and not doing it, you know. And I did this for 3 times, you know, like 3 nights like that. It was like painful.
It was with
And
other
then
people or just by yourself?
just by myself when I
Okay.
was alone, you know. When I
Okay.
was with someone else, I wanted to prove that I could do it. So I just went, you know.
Yeah.
So it motivated me. And every time I tried to increase also the difficulty that I had, you know. Like once it was easy to open one girl, I was going for opening two girls. When it was
Group
easy
sets.
to, yeah, a group, etc. When it was easy to go with a wingman, then I went out alone.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good to challenge yourself like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because once you get too comfortable doing something, then you don't really evolve much. So it's good to always put yourself in
But what
uncomfortable
do you think?
situations.
What do you think? What do you think about the fact that there is a lot of guys
Yeah.
that go into self-improvement? They raise themselves to a certain point. So they were, for example, unable to approach a girl, and then they become able to approach a girl,
Yeah.
and they still, or they get the phone numbers, but they don't go any further. You know, what do you think about the fact that a lot of people that changed paradigm and then they become complacent in one paradigm and don't go any further?
Yeah, I mean, either you progress or you regress. So yeah, I mean, at a certain point, once you reach a certain level, you have to push yourself to get to the next level, and you do that by learning from people who have done it already, who are at a level who's higher than you. So most of my life, when I've stagnated at a certain thing, I try to look for people who have achieved a higher level and try to learn from them what I could learn to get to that next level. And so that's what I've done. And so it comes back to what we've talked about in the beginning, like constant self improving, constant learning, being curious about, how you can improve a certain thing. But yeah, what I think about is just like, it's just you need to push yourself to get to the next level.
I feel that there is a lot of guys that feel that they push themselves to go to the next level,
Yeah.
but they are repeating the same patterns of activity again and again and again, you know. And
Yeah.
the point
You have
I
to.
was, it's like just changing and doing something different instead of going for a coffee, just like give her a meeting somewhere and then like just open yourself to go anywhere with her, and the play is the adventure. So for example, if a guy has a date and wants to go to on a date, I would recommend to just don't go for a coffee, you know, because maybe he has done it before. And so just go and see an expo and then go into a jewelry store and then another store, you know, and like play with the things like a kid, you know, in the store.
Yeah.
Then just go and see the view somewhere and then go for the coffee, you know, but like go for the emotional experience rather than a fixed objective that it's one coffee, then two coffee, then three coffee, then bedroom, and then we have kids. Like they believe
Yeah.
it's that way in their head, but it's not. Just like an emotional roller coaster of many different things, and then like there is the
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah, I mean, you have to open yourself to the range of possibilities. Sometimes instead of like, because I've seen so many guys, for example, they learn a certain way of conducting a date, as you said, like a coffee and a this, or they learn a certain way of texting or a certain way to conduct their seduction process, but they never try to like experiment by themselves, something else, break the pattern, and just experiment something else and see how it would lead to a new outcome.
When people are afraid of doing something new, you know, we're talking
Yeah.
about that at the beginning. That's where the work is. It's in this little bit of new things, different thing. And so every time I catch myself doing something that I've already done, I'm just like, okay, what can I do to make it more epic, to make it new, and to have a new experience? And it could be as simple as, instead of eating my meal in like 3 minutes, taking 20 minutes to eat my meal and like feel each bite in my mouth, you know, and like just feel and let go of everything and let go of other people at the table, like looking at me, what is he doing, you know, and all of that. social awkwardness that they feel at the beginning because they are not used to it. But then because I own it, it becomes normal, and then they want to try it. So they get into my own frame, and they get into my own world by me acting weird for them at the beginning, but just like owning it and making it relatable at the same time. So it's a balance, you know, in between, like not going too weird and not going too normal.
Yeah, definitely. And so one thing is, when did you start basically, like, what was the point in your career when you told yourself, okay, I'm gonna do this? Like, you go from teaching this for free and doing it just for the passion to actually telling yourself, like, okay, now I'm ready to actually teach this and I want to do this professionally, like charge money for this. Like, when was the point where you told yourself, okay, now I'm ready, I want to start, you know, this journey of like helping people, but as a service?
It's I feel it's the way it works with all with decisions. Like I took 3 years to go full on into like approaching 6 hours a day. It took me 3 years to grow up and to go to that point and to do it consistently, you know, because I did before I did took very little decisions, and so it was just little decision, little decision, and little decision, but it was not a true real decision. And then I felt so much pain inside, and I just like felt through it, and I was like, okay, I'm gone now. I'm going to approach and to coach a lot of people. So that was the first decision. And then I got the same process for me just teaching freely and me not earning money and not respecting myself, you know, at some point, because giving things for free, it's not respecting ourselves and not respecting the other person also. So there is a good thing to it by giving away some things, but if it's your whole life and if it's just like giving for free and not getting in return, it's very it's not good, and it's actually delusional. And so I had a shift in awareness where I felt, whoa, like I thought I was loving people. I thought I was helping people. I thought I was a good person. I thought I did it because I wanted to help people, you know, to be free and everything. And then I realized that I was just lying to myself because I didn't like myself enough to think that I deserve to charge something and that people deserve to pay something because they want to evolve and grow, you know.
Yeah.
So it's giving the other person the opportunity to invest in themselves with much more serious and much more energy, because like money is the energy that they have put in to earn the money. So there is their soul like mixed to the money that they give me, in a sense, and so that's
Like
that's
there's a
helping
quote.
them more than just like coaching them for free. It's
Yeah.
paradoxal, but it's like so true.
No, of course, yeah. People who pay attention. People who pay attention. People who get things for free, they don't pay attention. How many times have I given, you know, a PDF, a video, a course to a friend just as a free thing, and he never opened it because it's free. You know, it's just like, you know, a video, a course, whatever, and he just doesn't open it because it's free. But if you pay attention. So where money flow, attention
Because
goes.
when people pay, they had to ask themselves, okay, is it worthy? And can I do it? You know, like the two parts. Like, and if they feel, okay, no, it's not worthy, so I won't pay for that, so they don't buy it, you know, and it's okay. And if they feel that, wow, it's worthy, like I want to pay for that, and I'm able to implement that skill and to go into the next level in my life, you know, then they took a conscious decision that they want to do it, and they agreed with themselves and the teacher. And because of that, the energy transference in between the teacher and the student is open, and it's right, and it's just like, okay, perfect, like, let's go. And beforehand it was just like, yes, I want you to teach me, but I don't know if it has any value. And so it's like a little bit fuzzy.
Yeah. Basically, whenever they pay, it's kind of a vote to themselves that they are going to be serious about that. You see what I mean?
And the subconscious mind, the mind in the subconscious records everything and knows, so he knows that you're paying attention to yourself, and he knows that you are serious about going for it. And then everything is changing for you, because you record this event, even if you're not conscious about recording this event.
In the beginning, have you had a bit of an imposter syndrome? Like, shit, I don't feel like I'm a good coach. I don't feel like I have so much to learn. Like, there's so many guys who are better. Like, haven't you had in the beginning, like, this imposter syndrome? Like, am I good enough to teach? Like, see what I mean?
Not since I'm charging, because I took so much time to start to charge people. So yeah, not really, but beforehand, yes, it was an imposter syndrome a little bit, because I was not charging, but it was not much of that. It was much more of just like wanting to learn for myself, and not wanting to be bothered to give the best performance for the other person, when I teach them, because I teach them for free, so I do whatever I want. So it also frees me in the way that I was interacting with the person. And it's also what is very interesting in the way that I teach right now, that is maybe different than somebody who wants the person to master the skill, so he will like teach, and then help the student just go on the field and do this and do that. Me, when I teach, it's very weird, but I'm living my life, I am in the teaching mode, but I'm not in the teaching mode, I'm in the full presence, me being myself, and like having an impact, because he sees that I'm not acting a role as, oh, I want to teach you, but I become your wingman and your resource, and I am very present to any of your needs, any of your question. But the question and the needs have to come from the student, not from the teacher. So if the student doesn't ask, I don't tell.
You don't have a curriculum that you're gonna hit this point, this point, this point, and you're gonna teach them that? No?
No, I'm very adaptable and malleable. I give what the student needs, not what I think he would need. So if I try to prepare something, I'm just in the thinking mode. And when I don't prepare anything, and I just give them what they need right on the spot, and because I see where they are at and where they come from, because I've been there, and where they are going and why they are going, and that they are clear about like why they do it and everything, I just can like just adjust the little things that needs adjustment.
Okay. And what's the most common thing that you've seen your clients struggle with, and how usually do you go about solving that problem, for example?
It's thought patterns.
Okay, thought patterns.
Since the beginning, it's like just like self-bullshitting themselves.
Okay.
And self-resistance, and not being teachable. So it's when somebody is a student, what he has to agree on is, I don't know what I don't know. Like, don't try to, if you are a student, for example, the person that is listening, if you're a student and you have a teacher, humble yourself first, like look for the good teacher and the right teacher for you. That's the first, that's the most important. Once you've found it, and once it's resonating with you and you feel that, whoa, this is him, I want him, be humble and empty your cup, empty your mind of everything that you think you know, because you don't know, because you don't have the same results as the guy that he's teaching you. So know that you don't know, be very open-minded, and follow instruction. When he tells you like do this that way, just do it. And like do it 10 times, and then you can ask yourself, okay, was it good for me or was it not good for me? But most people try to outsmart the teacher and try to think beforehand, and so they think they have the answer, or they think that, oh, I can do it, I can do this, I can do that, and they have all this resistance inside of their body, and like it's just, they are not in their body, they are just in their head. So the students that go the slowest are the ones that are the most in their head and the less in their body, and just like following the teacher's instructions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I've seen that myself too. You're right about that. And so what's the most important thing you've learned in your life? And what was your life before learning it? And what was your life after learning it?
The most important thing for me is to have depth of vision. It means that when I was on that path of like teaching other guys how to do something, or teaching myself how to do something, and when I was acting and doing one approach, I was never seeing only the approach. I was seeing myself as a public speaker, having like a lot of impact on people's lives, you know. So I saw myself as the end result, as a guy that has multiple women's, that was very at ease, that was feeling great in his own body, that was having all of this abundance and clarity about life and everything. So I was nurturing the big dream in every little actions that I do and that I did. And because of that, what I saw is that I was acting from a different perspective than most of the people in the community around me, who were acting in the perspective of getting laid that night, or wanting to have a kiss close, or wanting to have some approval a little bit, or wanting to have things work a little bit for them, you know.
That's super deep what you said. And it's really the question of like finding your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want to master this skill? Because a lot of guys, they have a very shallow why. Like, oh, I just want to master the game to take revenge out of my girlfriend. Or, oh, I just want to master the game just to have sex with plenty of girls. But they don't have like a deeper vision, like a higher level motivation, you know, where, no, I want to do this because I want to become a great father someday. Or I want to become a great public speaker and impact the lives of millions of people through my knowledge and through my experience. And so what you've done is you've basically, instead of, you know, looking at this single action of approaching a woman in isolation, you looked at it at the bigger picture. What does this action is going to lead to in the future? And that might lead to me speaking in front of people, me impacting lives through my programs, me doing that. And so it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He wouldn't look at one rep in isolation. He would look at that rep as a step closer to him being Mr. Olympia. You see what I mean? So instead of looking at,
and the most important thing is not just like, oh, I know I will become Mr. Olympic, and so I will do that one rep, but it's, and then forgetting about Mr. Olympic, you know. And doing the reps, and then falling back in the patterns of just doing the reps for the reps, you know. Most of the people, when you teach them have a dream, they have a dream for 5 minutes or for 2 weeks, and then it's gone, you know? So it's like constantly reminding ourselves of what we want our life to mean. And the question I asked to myself was, okay, if I were dead, for example, right now,
what
how
history
would
do I want
I,
to create?
like, for example, if I don't do this approach, and it means that maybe I won't do any approach in my life. And then I imagine myself being dead and like not having approached, you know, anybody, and being lonely and being like miserable and being self-criticizing and feeling so bad. And it was just the worst feeling for me. And then I compared it to, okay, if I do that one rep or if I do that one approach, what it could lead to, you know, in 5 to 10 years.
Exactly.
So and when I did the one repetition on the one approach, I see the big dream in every repetition I do, you know, in every approach. I don't forget about it. And that's by not forgetting about it and by reminding myself about it constantly through books, through audios, through the community, through vision boards, through anything, you know, that can help. Remind myself that I want that. It makes the neural pathways in my physiology, it builds them, you know, toward that objective and toward that end goal, and not just toward the one repetition.
To reach the top of a mountain, you have to start with a single step. You know, it's a step by step towards the whole vision.
But being conscious of the fact that the step is helping you to reach the top is what makes helps you persist, you know, to go to the top. Because if you think that okay, you start with a single step, but then every step you ask yourself, why am I doing that? Why do I feel pain in my tendons? Why is it so long? Why I feel dry, you know, and I want to drink? Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? You know, and you fall in the pattern of like fuck, you know, what am I doing? Like I could be in front of the TV and like enjoying a good movie, and that's it, you know. It will be life.
No, that's right. And so do you have a process to reconnect yourself to your vision? Like, do you have kind of a morning routine or something that you do, like, okay, I'm going to look at my goals, my vision every day, or something like that, or not really?
Do you remember about RSD?
Yeah, of course.
It's a constant space where I get nurtured. I put myself in a space where I get nurtured every day in my life, which means that I'm listening to the right people for me. I am reading the right books for me, you know, like the one that resonate with me. I am going to events, for example, RSD events or other events. Maybe you have some events, Limo, in your space in Montreal. So I'm going to events and I am building relationships with people that have the same goals as me or that have achieved more than me, as you were talking about. I am uploading people that reached their goals, even if I didn't reach mine, you know. So I'm always constantly cheering for the other guy, because if I'm not jealous about the success of someone else, I will get the same success. If I'm jealous about his success, I will not get the same success.
So someone winning doesn't mean you're losing. You know, when someone is winning, it doesn't mean you're losing.
Yeah, someone winning means it's an inspiration for you to win.
Exactly.
And so the more people there are that are winning, the more people that can follow this lead and like go and win even bigger and better. So it's always being nurtured in an environment where what I wanted and what I desire like gets encouraged, you know.
Okay, so it's really about the environment more than like the morning
So
routine or like looking at your goals and all that.
yes. Like I can have and change my morning routine and everything. I always change it, but it's, you know, it changes all the time. It's like a little bit of how to, you know. So someday I want to shower and do body work and then listen to an audio and then I don't know, run outside and something like that, you know. And then I'm prepared. And someday I'm just like, okay, I just get out of bed, you know, and I start working on something. So it changes a lot of the time, and it's not about the how to. So the morning routine that has to be every day there, but it's about like constantly reminding ourselves and having something that remind ourselves of our dream every day. So I still have something, actually. I still have something that I've built, which is just some basic activity. For example, reading, listening, feeling appreciation, writing my goals, dreams, and desire, for example, and being in mastermind with someone that has the same mindset as me and that wants to go to the same place as me or even a better mindset. And so I have this like there is 10 or 12 items, for example, and I write Monday, Tuesday every day, you know, and I do cross when I did something one day, and I don't cross when I didn't do the activity. But the activity, like reading a book, it means reading one sentence in a book. Listening to an audio, it means listening for 30 seconds to an audio. Being in masterminds, it means just like having a 2-minute talk with a friend on the phone, or just sending messages, you know, to a friend that is in the same mindset. So it's the easiest, smallest, and non-time consuming activity that I can find. And the goal of that is just to remind myself, you know, of the bigger picture. And that's it. Like if I do it or if I don't, if I just like cross the board and just the activity that I did and I don't, I win. You know, I automatically win because I know I'm on a path somewhere. So that's what I use to remind myself. But nobody has to use anything like that. Like everyone has his own way of reminding and being in remembrance. Like in the biblical concepts, being in remembrance of the dreams and the goals that we have been inspired.
I think it was Jesus that said, without a vision, people perish, or something like that. And it was in the Bible. There was like something in the Bible, but without a vision, people perish. And that's true. Me, actually, I have multiple mechanisms to do that, like vision and goals. So for example, I have something that I give my clients called the higher self prophecy. And basically, this is something where, you know, like people can put, for example, their vision for like what type of identity they want to have, kind of, and then like their goals, you know, like what materialistic goals and stuff like that. And then you can put like your goals, and there's one page that's super important in this. It's basically what I call the manifesto. And that's basically kind of your Wikipedia page. Like, let's say in 40 years, 50 years, what would you want your Wikipedia page to look like? What history do you want to create, basically? If anything could unfold the way you wanted it, how would you write the history of your life? And you have to write it at the present tense, as if it's already happened. Like, Limo Oueslati is a billionaire, entrepreneur, philanthropist, whatever. You have to put whatever you want, you know. But it's good to also, I mean, this process also helped me personally to kind of visualize better and put my vision into writing and stuff like that.
That's awesome. And the fact that you print it and it's on paper, it has physical mass. So you know it's real, you know.
Yeah.
And then you have in your face like all the different pictures and everything. So it's very, very good. It's
Yeah.
very good.
Thanks.
Right.
And so who are the three people who have been the most influential to you? Like some of your best mentors or
Um, the first one is Bruce Lee,
okay.
because he's like just not just doing the moves and being physically fit and like boxing and everything, but he has also the spiritual side of things,
Mm, yeah.
the thought and the wisdom and everything. And he doesn't just have the wisdom; he also has the physical side, you know.
Yeah.
So he's not uh, saying one thing and not doing it, but he's just like showing us what this wisdom means in real
Mm,
life, you know.
yeah.
And so, like Bruce Lee, it's just big times. I
Yeah, Bruce Lee is
remember,
amazing.
yeah, his video like "Be water, my friend." You know,
Yeah.
water can
Or he
crash,
has like
it can flow. Be water.
yeah. He also has a quote that I really liked. It was like, don't fear the man who does 10,000 kicks, but fear the man who does like one kick 10,000 times or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, yeah,
Don't fear the guy that does 10,000 kicks but repeated only one time each,
exactly.
and fear the person that did one kick but like he did it
Mm,
10,000 times, and so he mastered it.
yeah.
So he's always like, Bruce Lee is such an inspiration because he has always been uh, trying to get out of the unimportant stuff to focus
Mm,
on the real core of each practice and everything. So it's by letting go of a lot of unuseful things that he became such a master, because he was
yeah,
just focusing on the right activity.
correct. Yeah. And besides Bruce Lee, do you have someone else?
In the game community, in the relationship community, the biggest winner I found for me and the biggest inspiration for me, it's a guy that is not very well known actually. Um, his name is Zan Perion. He has a book,
Okay.
The
Hmm.
Alabaster Girl, and he has been into the relationship community for
Ah, the
30 years.
Alabaster Girl. The Alabaster
Yeah,
Girl. Yeah, I
yeah.
heard about it. I heard about it. Yeah.
And
Okay.
this, like this book is just such a masterpiece. It took 10 years to write it. I took 1 year to read it. So I was just like reading one page and then just like going in with my life and trying to apply it, and then coming
Hmm.
back to it and reading 2 or 3 pages and everything. So he understands things in a deeper way that is much more like, it seems very philosophical because he
Hmm.
doesn't show the results that he has in his own life, because he kissed but doesn't tell, you know, never tells.
Hmm.
um, but he's just permeating that masculinity and that authenticity and that integrity and all the core values that I value the most.
Hmm.
So I just love his teaching. And the one sentence that just like changed the way I saw things completely with women, it was, women needs a witness to shine.
Hmm.
Women needs a witness to shine. And we are the witness, and it means that we are the witness of the beauty of women. And because we are here and we are looking at them and appreciating them and like, whoa, just holding space for them, it means that they can be free in our own space, you know. And so
Hmm.
the guy is holding the space
Yeah.
and seeing the beauty of the person and the women. and the women is just like becoming more and more herself with the grounding energy, sexual energy, and the upward energy, like giggling and laughing and enjoying
Yeah,
herself.
it's beautiful. Yeah, amazing. I'll take a look at the book. I heard about it, and I'll take a look at it. Thanks for sharing that.
This is it. Like he's so
Great.
good. Like for having for if someone wants to have a lot of women, a lot of relationships, and evolve through a lot of women, and if he has already have some experiences with girls, I recommend to read this book. But if
Okay.
he's just starting,
For
maybe
beginners, no.
it's
Mm.
it's like it's like too weird for the
Mm.
beginners, because they wouldn't catch the subtleties that he has, and they will believe that, okay, I just have to find that women are beautiful and they are already above me
Mm.
so much, and then they don't change their viewpoint of things. What I did was, I saw at the beginning women that were so beautiful, like much more than me and much more value than me and everything. Then I lowered their pedestal in my mind by saying, okay, it's just human being. They are like me,
Yeah.
and I'm like them, and I just like peace and shit and anything. I'm a human
Yeah.
being. I eat, and she's too, and I'm afraid, and I am confident sometimes and everything. And so we are on the same space now, and I hold that for myself during a certain time where it became true so much. And once it was true in my life and in my reality, and in me, and so I already had dated and had a relationship with multiple girls. Then I raised the girl on a pedestal again, but in my mind, but not for myself, but about themselves. So
Okay.
I help them see the beauty that is in her,
Mm-hmm.
and I nourish and I embellish that beauty, and I see that in her,
Mm-hmm.
and I see her as an expression of life, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So because I was doing that, it was just working even I don't know, like having deeper connection with the person. But it's good and not good, because it's also sort of a delusion, and sort of an escape for seeing someone as she really is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's both. Like I see her as a human being, and I see the beauty of the feminine spirit expressing through her.
Yeah.
So I revere her as a goddess, for example, and I revere her as just who she is, like a human being.
Mm-hmm. You have both, you're able to see both perceptions basically in her.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm able to choose and to see both at the same time, or to choose to see more one or more another, depending
Mm-hmm.
on of my own state also.
Yeah. Awesome. So we're gonna wrap up pretty soon because I have another call, but I would love to continue the podcast, but we're just gonna wrap up pretty soon. But it was amazing so far. I mean, we went through a lot of things. We went through
Yeah, it's
we
crazy.
started, yeah, a lot of philosophical conversations and stuff like that. Um, One thing, man, is like I have a question about like the world and how you view the world basically in some extent. I was just curious, like how do you think the world is going to be in 10, 15, 20 years? Like what do you hope the world to look like in 10, 20 years, 30 years? Because we've seen a lot of changes in the world. Even you can feel it spiritually with the technology, with COVID, with this, with the governments, with all this geopolitical environments. Like what do you think the world is going to be in 10, 15, 20 years? Are you optimistic about that? How do you hope the world to look like? I just want to have your
Um,
thoughts.
hmm. Uh, I could answer a lot of answers, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to answer this one. Why bother? Why bother? You know, because the world, we cannot control how the world is going to be,
Mm-hmm.
but we can control what our life will be in the world that is constantly evolving.
True. Yeah.
So I know that the world is going to evolve as it has evolved since the beginning of time. I believe that we will still be there as a species for many centuries, you know, and
Oh yeah, you
maybe
believe
it will
so?
be like thousands of years and like millions of
Mm-hmm.
years. I don't know, you know, I have no
Mm-hmm.
clue, but I believe that we will still I will still be alive, you know, somehow, somewhere, and it's okay. It's not the end of the world like tomorrow. So I am very confident about that.
Mm-hmm.
Then in that space that is given to me, who do I want to be in the world is a question that I would prefer to answer because I don't know how the world is going to
Mm-hmm.
be. And if I spend all of my time trying to figure out what it is going to be and how it's going to become,
Mm-hmm.
it's just I feel it's a little bit meaningless. But
Mm-hmm.
if I want to focus my attention on what my world is going to be and what I want to build in this world and
Mm-hmm.
in which type of environment I want to be in and what is the kind of lifestyle that I want to experiment, then it's just like for me, I'm very optimistic about
Mm-hmm.
everything.
No,
I'm
that's
just
great.
like
Yeah.
I'm just loving every minute right now of the present tense and this time. Everything has been so beautiful for the past 28 years I have been living on this earth. So I just love the difficulties. I love the challenges. I love the beauty, the rewards of life. So I love both sides, and so
Yeah.
I'm very optimistic about um, what it is to come from me. Because when I look at my life, I see yes, there is a roller coaster. Okay, but it's exciting, you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
You
it's going
enjoy
to
the up and
get more
downs.
and more exciting.
Yeah, you enjoy the up, the downs, everything, even if it's difficult, even whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
It's part of life.
I love so much, man. That's like when it gets difficult, I'm like, wow, finally, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
it was too easy for so long. So maybe I was in delusion, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe I was just enjoying my life. And then when it hits me, I'm like, whoa, there is an opportunity for me to be aware of something that I was not aware before. That's it,
Right.
you know. And
Yeah.
then I raise my awareness and I change paradigm, and I have to change paradigm to deal with the situation that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the exciting part.
Yeah. And so so far, like in your whole career, in your whole life as an adult, let's say, what has been like the most memorable moments of your career? Like something you'd never forget, like something that was like the highlight of your journey so far.
You mean with women?
No, it could be with your journey in terms of success with women, but it also could be in business or with people.
I think what I remember the most is this moment in time where I feel like that's enough, you know, I have had enough. I don't want that anymore. So
Hmm.
when it's like a very big difficulty, you know,
Hmm.
and when it's like it hits me so hard that I just want to it's like I have fire underneath me and I just want
Hmm.
to get up and run and go for my life. You know? These
Yeah.
moments I remember them so much.
Hmm.
So this is just I'm just so thankful for that, you know,
Hmm.
and because I've been living so many beautiful things in between and like moments of just like realization, like feeling levels of bliss and happiness that I couldn't even believe and conceive was attainable before because of my practice in Qigong, for example, and because of different activities that I'm a part on. So I've been living moments of truth and bliss and just ecstasy like crazy, and moments of hardship and everything. And the one that I like the most, I like them both actually. Like this, like I like the extreme. I'm a guy that likes the extreme. When it's in the middle, I'm just enjoying my time, but it's a little bit fluffing around. And when I am in on the extreme, so feeling extremely good, or feeling that I have to make a decision and change everything, and then I feel much more alive than the period in between.
Yeah. So yeah, you like either when it's like very hard and there's a big challenge, or when it's like super blissful and it's like a crazy experience in terms of bliss and joy, etc. But you don't like the middle. You like when it's always
That's the
pushing
one
limits.
that I remember. That's the one that I remember the most because there is the most emotional
Emotions.
intensity attached
No, I
to
feel
it.
you. I understand that.
So because you asked me what do you remember, and it's just like this one are very vivid, but I've had like like sometimes, for example, I did a tantra festival for 6 days.
Tantra.
It was tantra. It was 2 weeks ago, something like that. And during these 6 days, it was so condensed and with someone that is so good at what he does. He has like a team of 15 facilitators, and there is like 220 people together for 6 days, and it's very intense. And there I found ways to really love myself in a deeper sense, and I realized, whoa, I was judging so much before. I was not loving myself to an extent. I was doing this and that and that, and it's maybe always the same story that people that have awakenings tell, because it's just like an onion, there are different layers. And so I can be teaching for 10 more years about things like that, and I know that there will be a deeper layer where I will realize how much I was having so much ego doing this interview with you, today. Like 10 years from now, I will look at myself and I would laugh. I would say, whoa, like I was so unaware at that time, but right now I feel so much more aware than 10 years ago, because it's a journey. So I accept where I am, and I go on with the process.
Love that. Awesome, man. Awesome. I mean, honestly, man, I would love to stay more with you right now. I just have another call soon, but it was really awesome to have you here. Maybe we're going to do another podcast in the future because there's so many things I want to ask you. You're such an interesting person, and I mean, with you, I feel like we can really go spiritual and philosophical and stuff like that. And with some other guests, it's not always like that. Like you have really this. You have interesting perceptions and point of views, so I like that. But basically, yeah, man. Just to wrap up, basically, how can people find you? Do you have a website, an Instagram, something? If someone wants to know more about you, reach out to you, potentially work with you. Do you want to also give up your website or?
It will be built. It will be built.
Or
right now,
maybe a
it's
Facebook
just
or Instagram.
me. So there is my Facebook with my name and my surname, Yannick Poulain, Yannick Poulain, and there is my Instagram, Yannick .pn.
Okay.
So that's my Instagram, and then they can reach out to me, but everything will be built, and we'll see.
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
that's it.
I'll drop that in the description anyway of the podcast. I'll drop your social media. But yeah, man, it was great to connect with you. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please share it with friends, whatever, like sharing on social media, Facebook, and tag me so I can repost it, and all of that. But thank you, Yannick. We keep in touch, man. And yeah, big things are coming. I'm sure we're gonna cross paths in real life soon. We have a lot of acquaintances that we know. I mean, you know people that I know, so I'm sure at some point, hopefully, we can meet in real life. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be able to do this podcast with you, and thank you for the invitation. And
welcome.
You're just like so kind and so I don't know, awesome to have the permission to go a little bit deeper, you know, and to just you have a real depth of knowledge and understanding about a lot of things. So I really appreciate
welcome.
that.
You too, man. You too, man. Thank you. Welcome. Yeah. Take care, Yannick, and see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you.